Hi, I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. So today we're going to be doing an all signs transit video for the Sun and Mars transits into Capricorn. And if you like my videos, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out me and the channel. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel or get a personal reading, the links to those will be in the description box in the comments below. Alright, so Sun's transiting into Capricorn January 14th, and it'll be there until February 13th. And Mars is going to be transiting into Capricorn February 5th, and it'll be there until March 15th. There's also going to be a new moon in Capricorn February 9th, but you might see the effect of that between the 9th and the 10th. Alright, so these are the major events that we're going to be looking at. Now, when we look at this, or when we look at transits in general, make sure that you are looking from your ascendant, moon, and sun sign. Now, for those that have been following me for a while, you know I didn't always do from the sun. But I've been testing it, and transits from the sun work incredibly well, especially if you have your ascendant, moon, and sun in different signs. They really complement each other, especially when you apply the transit from all three signs. Okay. But I just wanted to point that out, and yeah, let's get into this. Alright, so, kicking us off with Aries. Alright, Aries. So, Mars is going to be, well, we'll start with Sun. Sun's going to be in Capricorn. Alright. So, Capricorn's your 10th house. So your focus is turning towards your workplace, your career. And whether or not you're retired or, still working, 10th house is also your karmic actions that society notices. If you're married, it's also your mother-in-law. So this is where your focus is going to be. And when there's this new moon, February 9th to the 10th, like I said, it's when you might feel the effect, there's going to be some significant change or something new that happens with, your work, your workplace, your boss, manager, with your mother-in-law. If you're married, there could be something significant. All right. But now let's talk about Mars. So, Mars is your energy and drive. So, energy and drive, just like your focus on this house, Mars is energizing your workplace. But Mars can also cause conflict, especially being there with Mercury. There can definitely be conflicts with your managers, your bosses, your coworkers, for sure. Yeah, definitely you can see that. All right. But overall, this is good for career. Sun and Mars are definitely helping you in this area. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. So Mars has a 4th, a 7th, and a 10th aspect. So 4th aspect is falling on your 1st house, Aries. You. Okay, so 4th aspect is about conquest. So you're wanting to conquer yourself, your physical body. Maybe you've been feeling that you're, getting out of shape, or that you're just wanting to put more focus on you. Maybe feeling insecure. But you're going to want to work out. You're going to want to put more focus on you. Even if it's not physically, you're going to want to put more energy into you. Whether that's, you spending alone time, working out, resting more. You're going to put a lot more focus on you and your physical body. Now, 7th aspect of Mars is the confrontational aspect, and it's falling on the 4th house. So 4th house is your mother. It's people in your home. So definitely there can be conflicts with people you live with and with your mother. Fights, arguments, especially with Mars being conjunct Mercury. You can definitely, see this happening. Now, 8th aspect of Mars is falling on Leo, your 5th house. So 5th house is children. It's romance, fun and games, education, speculative gains through business, stock market, gambling. So, with this, we see that this 8th aspect of Mars bringing sudden ups and downs and transformation. There could be sudden changes with your education, with your children. You could begin a sudden romance. Changes in your education, like I said. But also, if you have students or, subordinates, people that work under you in your career, there can be sudden changes with them too. Maybe, you had a subordinate that is transferring to a new position and you get a new subordinate or something like that. Those kinds of things can happen. But all right, that's what I have for you, Aries. So, Taurus. Taurus, for you, Sun's in your 9th house in Capricorn. All right. So, focus on the 9th house. 9th house is your father, mentors, teachers, guides, gurus. It's your higher education. It's foreign travel, pilgrimage, religion, philosophy, law. So, with this, we see your focus is turning towards these areas. Now, there's going to be a new moon here, February 9th, and you might feel the effect either on the 9th or the 10th. New moon brings new events. So there could be something new that comes up with your father figure. There can be something significant with your teacher, with your education, with travel. There could be something significant with your religious views. Maybe something with your priest. There could be something that comes up with the law. Some legal matter. Now, Mars is also here. And Mars is your energy and drive. So, with Mercury there can definitely be conflicts with your father, with your teachers, in your education. There can definitely be issues. So try not to be too argumentative there. Now, it could be that, your father or your mentor is the one bringing those issues to you. But, try not to engage too much if that's the case. Although with Sun and Mars being there, you probably will. All right. Now let's talk about the aspects. So, 4th aspect of Mars is falling on the 12th house, Aries. So, 12th house is spirituality. It's bed pleasure, sex and sleep. It's foreign travel, foreign people. It's isolation. Anywhere you feel isolated. Jails, hospitals, asylums. So Mars' 4th aspect is all about conquest. You're going to want to conquer these areas of life. You're going to want to have more sex. You're going to want to focus more on your spirituality. For some people, might focus on both. Might want to travel. Definitely Mars in the 9th house can give a travel bug. Because 9th house is a house of travel. 12th house is a house of travel. Especially long distance travel, for sure. Especially if your planetary or sign-based dasha is supporting that. Dasha is a time period for Western viewers. Okay. So, we have that. Now, 7th aspect of Mars brings confrontation. And that's falling on your 3rd house. So, 3rd house, Cancer for you. 3rd house is younger siblings. It's cousins. It's your neighbors. It's social media. It's online. So these are the people you can get into conflicts with. Definitely, be careful with your siblings, your cousins, your neighbors. But also online, watch, what you type. Never know who's watching. Who's checking what you're posting. So be careful with that. Now, 8th aspect of Mars is falling on your 4th house, Leo. So, 4th house, well, first off, 8th aspect of Mars brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. And your 4th house is mother, home, land, real estate. It's your vehicle. It's your comfort, your happiness. So it can be sudden changes with your mother, with your home, with your car. These can be good or bad. Hopefully they're for the better, though. But alright, that's what I have for you, though, Taurus. Gemini. Alright, Gemini. So, I'll take a drink real quick. There we go. Alright. So, Sun's your focus, and it's now in your 8th house, Capricorn. So, 8th house is sudden ups and downs, transformation. It's inheritance. It's death. It's joint finances, married life. It's research. It's the occult. It's other people's finances. It's your spouse's family. So, this is where your focus is going to be. And there's going to be a new moon here, February 9th, but you might feel the effect of this on the 10th, because it's late February 9th. So, new moon brings new events. So it could be something new that comes up with your joint finances in your relationship or in business. There could be something significant that comes up with your in-laws. If you're involved in research, there can be, a breakthrough in your research. Or there can just be some significant sudden event that takes place. Now, Mars is also going to be here, and Mars is your energy and drive. So, another thing I'd like to point out is Mars being here, plus 8th house is sex. So, definitely more sex drive, for sure. Your focus is going to be here, your energy and drive is going to be here. So, that's a big thing that will come up for, a lot of people. But, this can cause conflict, especially being there with Mercury. It can cause conflict in married life. Can cause conflict with your in-laws. So I'd say be careful with that. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. So Mars has a 4th aspect on your 11th house. 4th aspect is about conquest. And it's falling on the 11th house, Aries. So, 11th house is elder sibling. It's your friends. It's large organizations. It's stock market, hopes, wishes, desires, financial gain. So what we see with this is you're going to want to conquer these areas of life. You might be, trying to overtake your elder sibling, especially, with all this focus on your 8th house, 8th house being inheritance, 11th house elder sibling. Maybe you're wanting to overtake your elder sibling when it comes to getting an inheritance. Just pointing out, for some people that could be the case. But you could also be overly domineering, just in general, with your elder sibling. Maybe you're just tired of dealing with them. So you're like, no, I'm not putting up with this anymore. Maybe, you can also be over domineering with your friends, having conflicts with them. But for financial gain, this can be very good. Mars in the 8th house brings sudden events. It can bring sudden financial gain with its aspect from here. So that's one area where this can be very good. Now, the 7th aspect of Mars is falling on Cancer, your 2nd house. So 2nd house is your family. And 7th aspect brings confrontation. So definitely there can be conflict with your family. So not just your in-laws, with it being in the 8th house, but also with your own family. Now, the 8th aspect of Mars is falling on Leo, your 3rd house. An eighth aspect brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. So, there can be sudden ups and downs with your younger siblings, with your cousins. There could be some significant transformation in their lives. There can be sudden changes in media, if you're involved in media. Third house is also writing, your skills, your effort. So you could learn a new skill during this time. Really transform your effort. Maybe you weren't putting enough effort in, a particular area of your life, so you completely transform the efforts that you've been putting forward. Third house is also short distance travel, so there could be significant travel that comes up. But yeah, that's what I have for you though, Gemini. Alright, Cancer. Cancer, for you, Sun and Mars are going to be moving into your 7th house. So, Sun's your focus, and it's now in the 7th house. 7th house is relationships, business, other people out in the world, the masses. So, your focus is turning here. And there's going to be a new moon here, February 9th. But February 9th or the 10th is when you'll probably feel the effect of this. Now, new moons bring new events. So there's going to be something significant that comes up February 9th, February 10th. Now, considering it's right around Valentine's Day, pretty clear this is going to be relationship oriented for most of you, probably. But for those that it's not, this could be business oriented or just meeting new people. Now, Mars is also going to be here. And Mars is your energy and drive. So it's energizing this house. You're going to be meeting more people than usual. There can be a lot going on with you and your romantic partner. If you're in business, your business could really be growing during this transit of Mars here. But Mars is with Mercury. Mars doesn't like Mercury. So in relationships, there can definitely be conflict, arguments. Same thing with your business partner if you have one. And in general, the people that you meet out in the world could be more combative with you, more argumentative with you than usual. But 7th house is also the 10th from the 10th house. It's the higher form of status, higher form of your career. So definitely this is good for career, this is good for status, good for business. But now let's talk about the aspects of Mars. So Mars has a 4th aspect falling onto Aries, your 10th house. So, once again, this is good for status. 4th aspect of Mars is about conquest. So, you're wanting to conquer the 10th house. 10th house is status. It's your workplace, your bosses, your managers. It's your karmic actions that you perform out in the world that society notices. Or that you have to perform for society. So, you're wanting to conquer this area of life. For most people, this is going to be about your career, your status. And Mars is really helping you accomplish, to progress in that area of your life. But if you're, retired, it could just be your karmic actions. Also, 10th house can be your mother-in-law. So there could be some issue with your mother-in-law, or just, you trying to be overly domineering with your mother-in-law. Maybe, she lives with you and you're having issues with that. Could be the case. Now, 7th aspect of Mars, though, brings confrontation. And that's falling on the 1st house. 1st house is you. So this is other people bringing conflict to you. And like I said, with Mars and Mercury being in your 7th house, this is going to be even more significant than usual. Now, the 8th aspect of Mars brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. And that's falling on Leo, your 2nd house. So, 2nd house is your family. It's your earnings, your savings, your finances. So there can be sudden ups and downs, transformation when it comes to your family. There can be, some sudden events that are going on. A major change with your family. Like a family member could move or something like that. Just some unexpected event could take place. But also with your finances. So this could be good or bad. Maybe your finances change for the better. Maybe they change for the worse. That's going to depend more on your planetary or sign-based dasha or time period for Western viewers. But alright. That's what I have for you though, Cancer. Leo. Alright, Leo. So, I'm going to take a drink and then we're going to talk about it. Okay, Leo. So, Sun is now in your 6th house, Capricorn. And Mars is going to be moving there too. So, Sun's your focus. And it's in your 6th house. 6th house is health issues. It's accidents. It's your everyday work, everyday routines. It's your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your pets. And it's also debt. And your enemies. So this is where your focus is during this transit. This could be a very work-oriented transit for you. Very health-oriented. Also, new moon. There's going to be a new moon here. February 9th. But you might feel the effect of it February 10th. Since it's happening late on the 9th. Now, new moons bring new events. So it could be something significant that comes up with your health. Maybe you get a new pet that day. Could be something significant with your aunts and uncles. Your maternal aunts and uncles specifically. Something like that could come up. There could be something involving debt. Hopefully not an accident, but it's possible. Now, Mars is also going to be here. So, Mars is your energy and drive. This is giving you a lot of energy in your work and with health. But Sun and Mars being there, your focus and your energy, energizing that 6th house, there can definitely be health issues that come up. Now, it depends on what your planetary and sign-based time periods or dashas are showing, because that supersedes all of this. And it's based off of your individual chart. But this is really good for work, though. Mars in the 6th house is great for work. But Mars is with Mercury. This is going to cause arguments with your maternal aunts and uncles, with your coworkers. Definitely there can be arguments, conflicts that come up. Okay. Now let's talk about the aspects of Mars, though. So Mars has a 4th aspect of conquest, falling on your 9th house, Aries. So, 9th house is your father figures. It's your mentors, your teachers. It's long distance travel, pilgrimage. It's higher education, religion, philosophy, the law. So you're going to want to conquer this area of life. You might be over-domineering with your father figures, with your teachers. You're really going to want to conquer higher education. You may want to travel during this transit. There could be some legal issue that's going on right now, because 6th house can also be legal dispute. And 9th house is the house of law. So there could be some legal dispute going on right now as well. But yeah, you're going to be over-domineering in this area though, so be careful with that. Now, 7th aspect of Mars brings confrontation, and that's falling on your 12th house. Now, one thing this is also showing, once again, travel. because Mars is aspecting the 9th and the 12th house. Both are houses of travel. But 12th house is foreign people. So there could be conflict with foreigners during this transit. Also, 12th house is hospitals. Now, Mars is in the 6th house of health issues. There could be, conflict with, like medical professionals during this transit. If you're having like a medical issue or, a family member is or something like that. Now, 8th aspect of Mars brings sun ups and downs and transformation. It's falling on Leo, your 1st house. So 1st house is you, your physical body. So definitely there can be sudden changes in your health. Now this could be good or bad. So, try to err on the good side of this transit. But alright, that's what I have for you though, Leo. Alright, Virgo. Virgo, for you, Sun and Mars are moving into your 5th house, Capricorn. So, Sun's your focus, and 5th house is romance, fun and games, children, your subordinates, at work or otherwise, your students. 5th house is education. It's speculative gain, whether through gambling, through stock market, through business. So this is where your focus is during this transit. And there's going to be a new moon here, February 9th, but you might feel the effect by February 10th, because it's happening late on the 9th. Now, new moons bring new events. So there could be something new that comes up with romance. Maybe you begin a new romance. There could be something new with your education. Something new with children. Maybe you realize you're going to have a child when that new moon takes place. Like that could be something that comes up. Now, your planetary time periods, planetary and sign-based time periods, and your dashas supersede transits always. But that's based off of your individual chart, and we're looking at this in general right now. But like I said, it's something that could take place. Now, Mars is also here. Mars is your energy and your drive. So you're feeling more energized in your education. More energy for romance. More energy for, financial gain. Pursuing that. Now, if you have children or subordinates or students, there can be conflicts and arguments here because Mars is with Mercury. Mars being there by itself could cause this, but Mercury is an enemy of Mars. Mars does not like Mercury. So it definitely causes conflicts and arguments. And also with people in education, there can be conflicts as well. Now let's talk about the aspects of Mars. So Mars has a 4th aspect falling on Aries, your 8th house. So 4th aspect is all about conquest. And 8th house is your in-laws. It's joint finances in business or in relationships. It's other people's money. It's also the occult, research, death, inheritance, sun ups and downs, transformation, sex. So, you're going to want to conquer these areas of life during this transit. Now, 7th aspect of Mars brings confrontation, and it's falling on your 11th house. So 11th house is elder sibling. It's your friends. It's large organizations. So you can get into conflict with all these people. So definitely be, careful with that. If you want to maintain your friendships, don't start fights. Yeah. Also, it's your paternal aunts and uncles as well. So there could be conflicts with them during this transit. Now, 8th aspect of Mars brings sun ups and downs and transformation. And that's falling on your 12th house. So, 12th house is sex. It's bed pleasure, so that includes sex and sleep. It's spirituality. foreign travel, foreign people. It's isolation. Anywhere you feel isolated. Jails, hospitals, asylums, monasteries. 12th house is also loss. So, there can definitely be a big focus on sex during this transit, with the 8th and 12th houses being aspected. There can be a big focus on the occult and spirituality as well, because these houses also represent that. There can be sudden travels, sudden losses that come up. There can be a transformation of your spiritual views during this transit. Alright, that's what I have for you though, Virgo. Libra. Alright, Libra. Sun and Mars are moving into Capricorn, your 4th house. So, Sun's your focus, and 4th house is your mother, home, land, real estate, vehicles, and your comfort and your happiness. It's also people in your home. So your focus is turning here. And there's going to be a new moon here, February 9th, but you might feel the effect on the 9th or the 10th. So, new moons bring new events. So there can be something new that comes up with your mother, with your home, with property, with your vehicle. Maybe you find out that, your vehicle needs maintenance or something. Also, Mars is going to be here. Mars is your energy and your drive. So, there could be work being done in the home. Maybe you're needing to remodel. There can be, work needing to be done on your vehicle. But one thing that we see here, Mars being conjunct Mercury during this transit, there can definitely be conflicts with your mother and with people in the home. So that's one thing to be aware of with this. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. So Mars has a 4th aspect falling onto Aries, your 7th house. 4th aspect is about conquest. So 7th house is relationships, business partner. It's all the people that you meet out in the world, the masses. So you're going to be overly domineering when it comes to relationships, when it comes to business. So try to be careful with that. You don't want to, ruin a relationship if you're already in one. And if you're not in one, this can actually be a good time to get into a relationship, for sure. Yeah. Now, 7th aspect of Mars brings confrontation, and that's falling on your 10th house. So 10th house is career. It's your workplace. It's your managers, your bosses. So there can be conflicts with people at work, with your coworkers, with your managers, your bosses. 10th house is also government, especially like federal, national government. And the 4th house is local government. So you could also be getting into, conflicts with government officials. So try to avoid that. Yeah. Now, 8th aspect of Mars brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. And that's falling on your 11th house. 11th house is your elder sibling. It's your paternal aunts and uncles. It's your friends. It's large organizations. It's your hopes, wishes, desires, financial gain. It's a gain of status because it's second from the 10th house. So, there can definitely be a sudden change with your elder sibling, with your paternal aunts and uncles, with your friends, with some large organization that you're a part of. There can be changes when it comes to your hopes and wishes. Maybe, completely change what you want in life during this transit. That's possible with this. There can also be sudden financial gain that comes in. But alright, that's what I have for you though, Libra. Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. Let me take a drink real quick and we'll talk about it. All right. So, Sun and Mars are moving into your third house of Capricorn. Sun's your focus, and third house is your younger sibling. It's your cousins. It's your neighbors. It's media, internet, social media, short distance travel, your skills, your effort, communication of all kinds, including writing. So this is where your focus is turning during this transit. And there's going to be a new moon here, February 9th. And you might feel the effect of this on either the 9th or the 10th. But new moons bring new events. So there could be something new that comes up with your younger sibling or with your cousins. There could be some new, travel that you're going on. Maybe you learn a new skill. Or there's some significant communication that comes in. Or that you communicate to someone else. Now, Mars is also going to be here, and Mars is your energy and drive. So this house is really being energized. You're going to be talking to more people. You're going to be traveling more from place to place, a lot of coming and going. But Mars is with Mercury, so there can be definitely conflict and arguments with, the people represented by this house. Your younger sibling, your cousins, your neighbors, with people online. So be aware of that. Now, fourth aspect of Mars, it brings conquest. It's about you wanting to conquer something. And that's falling on Aries, your sixth house. So, sixth house is health issues. It's your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your enemies, your coworkers, your pets. It's debt. It's your everyday work, everyday routines. So you're going to be overly domineering with your coworkers, with your maternal aunts and uncles. Maybe you're getting really mad at your pet. Maybe they keep having accidents in the house or something. I don't know. Tearing up all your stuff. But also wanting to conquer your enemies. Mars being in the third house is really good for that. Overcoming debt. Mars can also help there. Also, sixth house is competition. So Mars can also help you, win a competition. Now, seventh aspect of Mars brings confrontation. And that's falling on your ninth house. So ninth house is your father figures. It's your teachers, your mentors, your gurus. Ninth house is also religious people. So there could be conflicts with all these people. So be careful with that. Now, eighth aspect of Mars brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. And that's falling on your 10th house. 10th house is your career, your workplace, your status. So, be very careful what you are communicating, what you're posting online, because that can bring a transformation in your career. All those people that, they try to apply for a job and then all of a sudden the company that they were applying for doesn't hire them because of something they posted on social media. That's the kind of thing this transit can bring. It can bring sudden changes in your career through what you say, through your actions. That can be good or bad. There can be changes with your managers, your bosses, changes in the workplace during this transit. But alright, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. Alright, Sagittarius. So, Sagittarius, Sun and Mars are going to be in your second house of Capricorn. Sun's your focus, And second house is your family. It's your speech. It's your face. It's your earnings, your savings, your finances. And there's going to be a new moon here, February 9th. But that you might feel the effect February 9th or February 10th. Now, new moons bring new events. So there could be something new that comes up with your family. Something new with your finances. Maybe you have to make a speech. There could be, some issue, like a dental issue or something that comes up. Maybe you have a dentist appointment, something like that. But also, Mars is here. So Mars is your energy and drive. So there's going to be more going on with your family than usual during this transit. Also, there's going to be a lot going on with your finances. Mars is energizing this house. So you're going to be making more money during this transit. But Mars in the second house also makes you want to spend money. It's going to influence you to where you're going to want to spend money on essentials. You're going to want to buy more food, more essentials for the home. So definitely that can be there. Now, Mars is with Mercury though. And Mars does not like Mercury. So this is going to cause conflicts and arguments. Not only are you going to be overly argumentative during this transit because it's in your second house of speech, but you're also going to get into more conflict than usual with your family. You'll definitely see that with this. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. So Mars is going to have a fourth aspect of conquest on your fifth house. So fifth house is romance, fun and games, education, children, subordinates, students, speculative gain through stock market, through business, gambling. So, you're going to want to conquer these areas of life. You're going to want to do well in your education. You're going to be putting more energy into that. You might want to grow your family by having children. Mars can also show that. You might want to begin a new romance. You might want to make more money, especially through business or, speculative means like stock market and gambling. So you can also see that. But you can be overly domineering with your students if you're a teacher, or with your subordinates like at work, people that work under you. Now, seventh aspect of Mars brings confrontation, and that's falling on your eighth house. So, eighth house is your in-laws. So there can be conflict with your in-laws as well, not just your own family. Now, the eighth aspect of Mars brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. And that's falling on Leo, your ninth house. So there can be sudden changes with your father figures, with your teachers, your gurus. There can be a sudden transformation of your religious views, your philosophical views. There can be some sudden travel that takes place. But yeah, that's what I have for you though, Sagittarius. Moving on to Capricorn. Alright, Capricorn. So, Sun and Mars are both moving into Capricorn, your first house. And Sun's your focus. And the first house is you, your physical body. And there's going to be a new moon here, February 9th or February 10th. So, it'll be late February 9th, but you might feel the effect by February 10th. New moons bring new events. So there's going to be something new that takes place with you, with your physical body. Or you could be, undergoing some significant undertaking that you're starting. But your focus is going to be on you. You're going to be a bit self-centered during this transit. Maybe you need to be. Maybe you haven't been putting enough focus on yourself lately. Now, Mars is also going to be here. So your energy and drive is on you, your physical body. So you're going to want to put more energy into you. You might want to start working out, getting into shape. You're just going to be more active than usual. Mars in the first house makes somebody like a superhero. Like, you're ready to take on the world with Mars in the first house. To take on anybody out there. But there can definitely be some health issues with this. Mars can bring like cuts, burns, bruises. Now, being with Mercury, there in particular, there can be skin issues that come up. Being in your first house, Mercury is skin, Mars is irritating Mercury. There can also be like overactive nerves. That could like trigger like a panic attack or something like that. So be careful with that. Now let's talk about the aspects of Mars. So Mars has a fourth aspect of conquest, falling on your fourth house, Aries. So fourth house is your mother. It's your mother figures. It's your home, land, real estate, vehicles. It's the people that live in your home. It's your comfort, your happiness. So you're going to want to conquer these areas of life, these people in your life. They're going to be overly domineering with your mother or mother figures. You're going to be overly domineering with your home, with the people in your home. You're going to be overly controlling of your car or your vehicles, like if somebody else is able to be driving them or something. You're not going to want other people to, drive your car, that kind of thing. Also, there could be, some repairs that need to take place with your home, with your vehicle. Just you're going to be putting a lot more energy into those areas of life to the point where you can be overly controlling and stuff. Now, seventh aspect of Mars brings confrontation, and that's falling on Cancer, your seventh house. Seventh house is relationships, business partner. It's all the people you meet out in the world. So there's going to be, a lot of conflict with, your relationship partner, with your business partner, with the people, you meet out in the world. Seventh house is the masses. Especially with Mars, Mercury being conjunct in your first house. There's going to be a lot of conflict with other people. And based on this transit, you might be the culprit. So, try not to. Now, eighth aspect of Mars brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. And it's falling on the eighth house, Leo. So, eighth house is your in-laws. It's your joint finances and relationships or in business. It's sex. It's the occult. Mysticism. It's death, inheritance, sudden ups and downs and transformation. It's taxes. Anything hidden. So there's going to be sudden changes with your in-laws, with your joint finances. There can be a sudden change in your research if you're involved in research. Some sudden events of the occult nature that take place. Transformation of your sex life. But definitely there could be sudden events that take place with this. But alright, that's what I have for you, Capricorn. Aquarius. Aquarius, Sun and Mars are in your 12th house. So, Sun's your focus. And 12th house is spirituality. It's bed pleasure, sex and sleep. It's isolation. Anywhere you feel isolated. Jails, hospitals, asylums, monasteries. It's loss. 12th house is also foreign people and foreign lands. Foreign travel. So, these are the areas of life where you're going to be focused. And there's going to be a new moon here, February 9th, but you might feel the effect on the 9th or the 10th. Now, new moons bring new events. So, there could be new travel. Maybe, travel to a foreign place. There could be, a new beginning in your spirituality, in your sex life. There can be something significant that comes up with, financial losses. 12th house isn't just financial losses, though. It's also investments. It's, temporary losses before you gain. So you could make a new investment during that time, too. Now, Mars is also here, and Mars is energizing this house. Mars is your energy and drive. So, definitely this is good for sex life. It's energizing the house of sex. This can also be good for spirituality. Maybe you're beginning like some spiritual activity that is more physically active, like yoga or something like that, Tai Chi, that kind of thing. Definitely this is energizing travel. So there can be, significant travel that takes place during this transit. But Mars is with Mercury, and that can bring conflict. 12th house is a house of foreign people. So there can be conflicts with foreign people. People in jails, hospitals, asylums. If you're not careful, you can end up in these places. And then you might definitely end up in a conflict. So watch out for that, Aquarius. Yeah. Also, 12th house is your hidden enemies. So there can be conflict with enemies that you weren't expecting to be your enemies. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. So Mars has a fourth aspect of conquest, falling onto Aries. Aries is your third house. So, third house is younger siblings. It's your cousins, your neighbors. It's media, social media, internet. It's communication of all kinds, including writing, short distance travel. It's your skills, your efforts. So, definitely, you're going to want to conquer all these areas of life. You might be overly domineering with your younger siblings, with your cousins, your neighbors. You might be more interested in travel during this transit. Mars is in the 12th house of foreign travel. It's aspecting the house of short distance travel. If you're involved in media, you could really want to put more focus into that. You could want to learn a new skill during this transit. Really put in more effort. Now, seventh aspect of Mars brings confrontation. And that's falling on your sixth house. So, sixth house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your coworkers. It's your enemies. So these are people that you can get into conflict with during this transit. So be careful with that. Now, eighth aspect of Mars brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. And it's falling on Leo, your seventh house. Seventh house is relationships. It's business partner. It's the masses. It's a house of fame. It's the higher form of your status and career because 10th from the 10th house of fame and status and career. So, there can be a sudden change in relationships during this transit. A sudden change in your business with your business partner. There can be a sudden change in your status, how you're viewed in the world. There can even be significant changes with your career with this transit. Now, that depends on your planetary dasha and sign-based dasha, or, time period for Western viewers. But, yeah, that's what I have for you, though, Aquarius. And let's look at Pisces. All right, Pisces. So, Sun and Mars are moving into your 11th house. And I need a drink, and we'll get into it. All this talking dries out my throat. All right. So, Sun's your focus. And 11th house is your elder sibling. It's your friends. It's your paternal aunts and uncles. Large organizations. It's your hopes, wishes, desires, gains. It's the higher. It's It's the gain of your status because it's second from the 10th house. It's also stock market. So this is where your focus is. And there's going to be a new moon here, February 9th. But you'll either feel the effect February 9th or February 10th. So there can be something significant that comes up with your elder sibling, or your friends, or paternal aunts and uncles, or a large organization that day. You could gain a significant amount of money that day. Now, Mars is also here. Mars is your energy and your drive. So Mars is energizing the house of financial gain. This is very good financially. But Mars is here with Mercury. And Mars views Mercury as an enemy. This is going to cause conflicts and arguments with your elder sibling, with your paternal aunts and uncles, with your friends, in a large organization if you're a part of one. So while this is good financially, this can definitely be an issue with your network circle and with, your elder sibling and your paternal aunts and uncles. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Mars. So Mars has a fourth aspect of conquest, falling onto Aries, your second house. Second house is your family. It's your earnings, your savings, your finances. Second house is your speech. So you're going to want to conquer these areas of life. You're going to be overly domineering with your family during this transit. But this can be very good for financial gain. Mars is in the 11th house of major financial gain, and it's aspecting the second house of earnings and savings. So really wanted to conquer that. So Mars in the 11th house is very good for financial earnings. Now, 7th aspect of Mars brings confrontation, and that's falling on your 5th house. So 5th house is education. So the people in your education. It's children. It's your students, your subordinates. So people that work under you. So you can get into conflicts with all these people. So be careful with that. Now, 8th aspect of Mars brings sudden ups and downs and transformation. And that's falling on Leo, your 6th house. So there can be a sudden change with your maternal aunts and uncles, with your coworkers, with your health. 6th house is health and health issues, accidents. 6th house is your everyday work, everyday routines. So it can be a sudden change with those. 6th house is also pets. There can be a change with your pets. 6th house is also your debt. So with you making all this money, maybe you're able to pay down your debts with this. 6th house is also enemies. So it can be a sudden change with your enemies. Maybe you suddenly defeat your enemies. But alright, that's what I have for you though, Pisces. Okay, so that's what I have for all of you. And yeah, looks like it's going to be a busy month. But alright, that's what I have for y'all. And if you like my videos, be sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out me and the channel. And if you want to help support the channel, you can donate or get a personal reading. The links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.